All right, let's get right into it. When a fire breaks out, every single second is critical. And that tool you grab to fight it, it's got a code on it. A code that literally means the difference between putting the fire out and making it a whole lot worse. Today, we're gonna decode it.
So, picture this. A fire starts. You see two red fire extinguishers sitting right next to each other. They look exactly the same. You grab one, but what if it's the wrong one? What if the stuff inside it not only fails to stop the fire, but actually makes it explode or electrocutes you? How are you supposed to know the difference?
Well, the answer is hiding in plain sight. It's printed right there on the label. It's a simple code of letters and numbers, but if you don't know how to read it, you're just guessing. And in a fire, guessing is the last thing you want to do. This isn't trivia, this is survival knowledge. Okay, so let's dive in. The very first part of this code is the letters. Think of them as the language of the fire. These letters, A, B, and C, tell you exactly what type of fire the extinguisher is built to handle. Get this part wrong, and nothing else matters. First up, we've got Class A. Here's a simple way to remember it. A is for ash. Anything that burns and leaves an ash, like wood, paper, cloth, even most plastics, falls into this category. This is your typical trash can or office fire. The symbol to look for is a green triangle. Next is Class B. Think B for boil or barrel. This class is for all your flammable liquids and gases. We're talking gasoline, oil, grease, paint, that kind of stuff. And listen, you absolutely can't use water on these fires. You need something that will smother the fuel. Its symbol is a bright red square.
And then we have Class C. The C stands for current, as in electrical current. This rating is for any fire that involves live electrical gear, things like wiring, appliances, or computers. The key here, and this is so important, is that the extinguishing agent is non-conductive. If you use a water-based extinguisher on this, you could get a fatal shock. The symbol for this is a blue circle.
Now you might see a couple of other letters out there, D and K. Don't worry too much about these unless you're in a very specific environment. Class D is for really exotic stuff, like combustible metals in a factory. And Class K is specifically for commercial kitchens. Think deep fryers and cooking oils. For most of us, A, B, and C are the ones you have to know.
So we've covered the letters, right? That tells you the type of fire. But what about the numbers that come before the letters? Well, that's all about power. The number tells you how much firefighting juice that extinguisher has. Simply put, a bigger number means more muscle. Now this power is measured a bit differently for A and B fires. For Class A, that number tells you its equivalent power in water. So a 2A rating means it packs the punch of 2.5 gallons of water. For Class B fires, it's even more straightforward. The number is the square footage of fire that a novice user can put out. So a 10B extinguisher can handle about a 10 square foot flammable liquid fire. All right, we've got the letters for the type, and we've got the numbers for the power. Now it's time to put it all together. This is the skill you need to have in a real emergency, reading that full label in a split second. Okay, take a look at this label. This is probably the most common type of extinguisher you'll find in a home, an office, or a car. See that code right there? 2A, 10B, C? That one little string of characters tells you everything you need to know about what this thing can do. Let's break it down. The 2A part tells us it's good for those Class A, ordinary combustible fires. And in terms of power, it's like having 2.5 gallons of water on standby. That's enough to knock down a small trash can fire before it gets out of control. Then you see 10B. That means it's also rated for flammable liquid fires, and it has enough power to handle a blaze covering about 10 square feet. This helps you quickly judge if the extinguisher you're holding is big enough for the job. And finally, we have C. Now notice there's no number in front of it. Why? Because C isn't about power, it's about safety. It's a simple yes or no rating that tells you the agent inside is non-conductive. It's safe to use on a live electrical fire without risking electrocution. So, knowing the code is half the battle, but the other half is actually using the extinguisher correctly when your heart is pounding and adrenaline is pumping. Let's cover the most common and sometimes deadly mistakes people make when panic takes over. Now, the proper technique is easy to remember. Just think pass. Pull the pin, aim low at the base of the fire, squeeze the lever slowly and evenly, and sweep from side to side. It sounds simple, but it's amazing how fast that goes out the window in a real fire. So here's where it all goes wrong. People grab a water extinguisher for a grease fire, which causes a huge flare-up. They aim at the pretty orange flames way up high,
instead of the fuel at the base where the fire lives. They panic and squeeze the handle with all their might, emptying the entire extinguisher in 3 seconds. But the biggest mistake? Trying to be a hero. If a fire is blocking your only way out, or it's just getting too big, your job is to get out and call for help. Period.
Okay, we've covered a lot, and it's been intense, so let's lock it all in. We're gonna boil this all down into a super simple, actionable checklist that you can actually remember when it counts.
Here it is, your takeaway. First, match the letter to the hazard. A for ash, B for barrel, C for current. Second, a higher number means more power. A 4A is stronger than a 2A. Easy enough. Third, remember, it's about the right tool for the job. A huge ABC extinguisher is the wrong tool for a deep fryer fire. And finally, never, ever forget this. The wrong choice can lead to absolute disaster.
Look, this stuff isn't about passing a safety inspection or remembering something for a test. This is about making a clear, correct decision in what might be one of the most terrifying moments of your life. Knowing this code isn't just exam knowledge, it is survival knowledge. If this explainer helped you feel more confident about fire safety, do us a favor and subscribe. We're all about taking complex safety rules and turning them into simple, practical skills that can save a life. Protect yourself and the people around you. Stay safe.